One of the modern versions is the New American Standard. For short, it's called the NASV or the NASB. The V stands for version, or the B stands for Bible. And there's this little game they play when they refer to us King James readers. They'll call us KJV, as in King James Version, instead of KJB. It's just this silly little game that some people play. The New American Standard Version is produced by the Lockman Foundation, and here's all their copyright information that they apparently must have. Now, I'm going to ask a real crazy question. What would Dr. Luke say if he read the New American Standard Version? Now, I realize that is a silly question, but why really am I asking that? Well, maybe it's because I'm using a bit of reverse humor directed back to our good-natured fellow Christians who poke fun at us. They often laugh at us, and they'll make fun of us because we hold on to a King James Bible and continue to read it. They say that we are ignorant and not able to fully grasp the great scholarship that has gone into the newer translations. And they'll say that we're so stupid that we probably think Peter, James, and John used a King James Bible when they preached the gospel. And true, there is an old slogan about, the King James being good enough for Paul. Well, then it's good enough for me. But that's more of a jest or a joke. But they think that only ignorant hillbillies would make such a claim, because anyone with a lick of sense would know that English, as we know it, wasn't even spoken during the time of Christ. But how ignorant is such a claim really, that we have the Bible that the apostles would use? God said that He would preserve His words forever. What if we could prove that we really do use the same Bible that the apostles did back then? So when I ask, what would Luke say if he read the NASV, I'm asking, would Luke recognize the same scriptures that we have today as being in agreement with what the apostles had? So I say, we ought to go get Dr. Luke. We ought to dig him up and let him read a New American Standard. Now, I know this will seem kind of odd and a little crazy to some of you, or maybe a little, grotesque, but keep in mind, this is just pretend. I'm just some guy with a DVD. I'm no harm to anybody. But, I do happen to believe in the bodily resurrection, so hey, why not just have a little fun with this? Okay. Let's have Luke help us in our experiment. First off, we're going to need a table. Then we're going to need a King James Bible, and we're going to get a New American Standard. And we're going to take the covers off of both of them. Just put a simple black cover on them. We don't want anything to kind of tip the balance in our favor. We don't want to cheat or tip Dr. Luke off in any such way. But we're going to talk to Dr. Luke. We're going to use an interpreter, of course, because poor Dr. Luke has never heard the English language before. So we're going to explain to him through an interpreter what we want him to do for us. We're going to say, Dr. Luke, on this table are two books claiming to be the entire Word of God. Now, I know that you wrote a part of that. Could you tell us which one of these did you have a hand in writing that you recognize? And we're going to give him a Greek to English dictionary, because after all, he's never seen these words in English. So we're going to leave him alone for a while, and after a few minutes, he'll be able to come out. And I predict to you, he's going to hand me my old King James, and he's going to say, this is the one that I took a part in writing. Why would I make such a crazy claim? Well,